I really would like to know how you handled a very difficult moment earlier this year when the Egyptian government decided to deport Peter Greste, your friend and colleague whom you'd spent so long in jail with. He was deported on the basis he was a foreigner. You too, as it happens, are a foreigner in the sense that you have a Canadian passport, but you were forced to stay behind and continue in the prison. That must have been very difficult.
I was the happiest person when I saw Peter being deported. He suffered a lot, and it was harder even for him because he didn't speak the language. But of course, you know, it was mixed emotions. I wanted to be deported as well. And when the Egyptian government came to me and told me, drop your citizenships, you can go, they were doing it in the sense to just, you know, relieve and just get me out of the situation, just the same way that happened to Peter. But then it didn't happen. And we have no explanation until today why this didn't happen because, and you know, right now I'm trying to learn what's happening, why it didn't happen. And basically, there's so many lessons to be learned from this case for Al Jazeera and for the Egyptian government and for the Canadian government, who should have put more clout and stepped up the way the Australian government did in their lobbying to release me.
That's an interesting point. I'm going to quote your words from Tom Henheffer, who's the executive director of the Canadian Journalists for Free Expression campaign group. He said, the Canadian government, in the case of Mohamed Fahmy, said it was using quiet diplomacy. It turns out that what they meant was they were basically doing nothing. Do you feel that the Canadian government and Prime Minister Stephen Harper let you down?
I do believe Prime Minister Stephen Harper let me down, but I did not want to believe that in the beginning when I was in my cell and my family and many people across the world were saying that the Canadian government's approach was mild. However, after I was released and on bail and Peter was deported, I believe that our constructive critique paid off, and I'm very thankful to the consular team here and the ambassador because they really took care of me and they received my lawyer Amal Clooney very well in Egypt, and they really stepped up their approach. And I do intend to start a debate when I go back to Canada to make sure that, again, the government understands how to learn from this case and that many innocent Canadians tomorrow morning could be in my same situation. There are certain approaches that need to be taken to better protect the citizens and extract them. For example, the Prime Minister of Australia, Mr. Tony Abbott, he called President Sisi about 3 times when Peter was in prison. The Canadian Prime Minister didn't. And we started the Harper Call Egypt very successful campaign in Canada, and you know, it really garnered support. And I really do hope that you know, Mr. Harper realizes that this is not just about me; it's about many Canadians who could be in a similar situation.